And welcome back. It is Sunday sit-down time. With us now is Matt Michaels, formerly with KTGR on The Big Show, but no longer, as you are taking your talents elsewhere after 7 years hosting The Big Show, 9 years with Zimmer. Matt, thanks so much for coming on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about your decision to leave The Big Show?
Well, you know, it's a long period of time to be doing one thing of anything. It didn't come lightly. You know, I love this community. I love Mid-Missouri, and you know, it's home for me now. So making the choice to step away from 2 hours a day of a daily show and then, you know, weekends covering games and all that sort of thing. I still hope to be at the games, especially the Mizzou games. But, you know, after a while, it was just time to kind of do something else. And sometimes you know, and I knew, and so that's kind of what went into the decision for me.
Can we call you Matt Tarnawa now? Or
I mean, I've always said that people who are smart enough know the secrets. That's the honest truth.
Hey, Tarnawa sounds good. Matt Michaels, though, can't beat that. We got SEC Media Days coming up, so you're still covering Mizzou, still doing Mizzou baseball, and I know you've still been following Mizzou football, and you're going to continue to follow Coach Drinkwitz and this team, especially with SEC Media Days coming up. What are some of the storylines that you think that I should be asking? So I'm going to have you do my job.
Oh, wow.
What should I be asking Coach Drinkwitz this week?
You get ready to go down to Hoover and take care of all this, and you have me do your job for you, Andrew. Thank you very much.
No, you're not working for KTGR anymore.
Well, here's the thing. The first thing for me is that Drinkwitz mentioned, I think on Paul Feinbaum's show with Tom Hart recently, that this was a trenches league, right? That the SEC was all about what's going on in the trenches. Well, he's got a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman to be his player representatives. No offensive skill player, which I don't think has happened since Missouri has joined the SEC, and no quarterback either. He leaves Connor Bazelak at home. I think that should instruct everyone as to what Coach Drinkwitz would really like to talk about, which is how do you win in the trenches in the SEC. And last season it was no surprise that it got maybe a little bit better as the season wore on, but with COVID protocols and people being in and out of the lineup, it got very difficult. Finding consistency in the trenches is something I think will be probably a theme of what Eli Drinkwitz wants to talk about at these media days. And just what we learn about that in the first few weeks of the season, I think will be instructive as to how this Missouri football team can live up to what's becoming some lofty expectations for it this season.
Well, Mizzou's never had a coach like Eli Drinkwitz, and in years past with Gary Pinkel and Barry Odom, SEC Media Days has kind of been just another thing on the schedule, or yeah, we're going to cover it, but nothing's really going to come out of it. But with Drinkwitz, it seems like anything's possible. This might just be must-see TV this week.
Well, I think he's going to understand that the purpose of these media days is to give people a little something to talk about, right? And everybody, it's to their own style. I mean, there's nothing against Gary Pinkel or Barry Odom and the way they try to handle their business. If you wanted to make no news at all, make no news at all as a head coach. They're completely fine doing that, and there are coaches still in the league that do that. But if you want to create a little buzz and you want to give somebody something to talk about or write about, this is the week in which you do it. You get a little bit of positive momentum for your team, and you can't be afraid of being yourself. And there's one thing in front of a microphone, I think we know by now, even over Zoom calls or whatever the case may be, Eli Drinkwitz isn't scared of being who he is and maybe even ruffling a couple of feathers. He likes to have a little bit of fun. He said on that Feinbaum appearance that Lane Kiffin liked doing hot yoga. So now somebody's going to ask Lane Kiffin about hot yoga because he went on national radio and said it. But Drinkwitz is like, hey, all the fun. If they want to get mad at me at a coaches meeting later, then cool. He's cool with that, I think.
Well, the over-under I've seen, just looked up today, is 7 wins for this team. Is that right on the money, would you say, or is that low?
You know, I think that 7 is an expectation certainly within the room there. It'll be interesting to see how the year plays out. I think that 7 wins can be a very successful season for Missouri. Let's face it, the opponents in the East, you still have to go through Georgia. They may be the national championship favorite in some people's eyes. You have Florida that might not be where they were a season ago with some key losses to the professional ranks, but they're still very, very good. And you always have to beat Kentucky. And this year, you don't have any time to wait. It's the second week of the season, and you go up against the Wildcats. That's been a litmus test for Missouri ever since they've joined the league. So we'll know within the first 2 or 3 weeks if those expectations have to be moved around. But I think 7 wins can be a very, very successful season for Missouri if they take care of the business that they would anticipate and that fans would anticipate, and maybe along the way have a win or two along the road that, you know, people look at and say, yeah, this is the exciting one. On par with that LSU victory at the time it came last year. Just something to keep that positive mojo going and have people say, oh yeah, this is where everything's headed in Columbia, Missouri. 7 wins under the right circumstances, I think, is very successful.
So 7 years at KTGR. I wanted to ask your favorite memory or your favorite game that you covered. You covered a lot of things over the course of your time. Not just at KTGR, also as a student at Mizzou. What's the favorite come to mind?
Well, I have to say that it was a little bit before my time on the Big Show, but there was nothing to replicate that 2013 SEC championship game. There was nothing to replicate that sort of environment. It showed that Missouri belonged in the league. It gave, I think, Missouri fans who were there a taste of just how wild the league is. That old Georgia Dome was like Giant Stadium with a roof over it, and loud and into it, and just the atmosphere was something you couldn't match. That's still, I think, the one to be topped for me, but there are so many great games. I mean, think of the last home game against Kansas in 2012. I was fortunate enough to be in the building that day, and you know, the roof came off of that building on that day at Mizzou Arena. And so many individual moments along the way to celebrate.
Or for the viewers out there that listen to you 4 to 6 Monday through Friday, who are they going to be listening to moving forward, and what's the future of the Big Show?
The future of the Big Show is, at least for a little while, just wait and see. The one thing I can say regarding the Big Show is the folks at Zimmer have always been about live and local talk. Always have been, always will be, live and local content. That is their promise to you. That is something they intend on doing in the future in whatever form it looks like. Andy Humphrey was just on the Sports Wire yesterday, on Saturday, with Natalie Jones. So that is continuing on as time goes. And in terms of the full plans, I'm not privy to all of them, but I will say that they're always about being live and local, and they'll always have something exciting for you on KTGR. That I know for sure.
And what about you? Can you say anything about what's next for Matt Michaels?
Actually, I don't really know yet. We're going to take some time, find out what that is, and when it happens, I'll let everybody know. But in terms of football and basketball and Mizzou baseball, my plan is to be there just as I have been on network radio and able to tell some of the stories of the black and gold for everybody out there listening.
Well, I got to end with this. Do you want to throw anything, anybody, anything under the bus one final time?
Making me do your job today. Are you kidding me? Under the bus.
Under the bus. We get the music. Under the bus. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure to get to know you over the years, and I'm very thankful to call you a friend. And this isn't goodbye, or we're not doing any sort of goodbye here. You're
you can't get rid of me that easy.
So we'll definitely still have you on the show. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. And thank you for having me over all these years. I look forward to the next time.
All right, Matt Michaels, formerly from KTGR. We'll be right back after this.